Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to CV Global Live Show. I'm Yana, sales representative from the Medical Overseas Business Team. Glad to meet you in another new product launch V75 webinar. And at the beginning of the event, I've got a question for you. Do you know how many pet dogs and cats are in the world? Since some of you are pet owners, so I think maybe you know the answer. According to the data on the website Health for Animals, there are approximately 800 million dogs and cats are actually kept as pets worldwide, without counting the pet dogs and cats lived as unrestrained or free-ranging or other exotic pets. Since demographic changes, rising income levels, and also the COVID-19 pandemic has driven more people to adopt pets. So the pet populations worldwide are still rising, and there is little indication it will slow down anytime soon. More people are recognizing and enjoy the positive benefits of the companion animals, but it also brings animal health issues to the fore. A growing pet population means a greater need for veterinary care and generates the traditional veterinary industry such as medical instruments and medicine. And it also provides opportunity for emerging markets such as the pet cafe, pet hotels, and so on. Among the veterinary medical care, the use of ultrasound diagnostic imaging services is essential in confirming, assessing, and documenting the cause of many diseases and the response to treatment. And aiming at professional animal health care, we canalize our energies into the development of veterinary ultrasound products and is dedicated to providing optimal product solutions to our customers. So today, we would like to introduce the new product from our CV's veterinary product line, the mid-range veterinary ultrasound system V75. Now, let's take a look at the configuration of V75. The system is equipped with the 23 inches LCD rotatable monitor and a 13.3 adjustable touchscreen that enables fast operation. 5 active probe connectors support systematic examinations. Here, the rotatable and high adjustable control panel with 22 buttons for various functions. I would like to have your attention at the satellite navigation keys, which can be rotated and toggled. They are designed for reducing the movement of the operating position and improve the efficiency. And V75 is empowered by the new platform RealView Plus, which is series up-to-date ultrasound imaging platform that improves the system's capacity to next level. Based on this platform, advanced imaging technologies such as pixel echo-zoom, target focus, tailored filters are employed to provide significantly updated imaging quality at fast response and processing speed. The platform empowers next-level imaging experience and solutions on V75 to satisfy diagnostic demands. The last but not least features I want to introduce in these models is the improved workflow. The system supports customized examination types for each transducer with preferred parameters set up. The pin workshop on the left side of the screen displayed all measurement results for quick reviews. Preset body marks and annotations simplify the operation process. And after the scanning, the veterinarian can use the data measurement system smart archive to review and compare similar cases on different animals or several files on the same animal. We believe that the new V75 with the succinct design, empowered by the unique platform RealView Plus and innovative imaging technologies, will serve as a powerful and reliable helper for veterinarians during the daily diagnosis and treatment. And today, we have also invited Dr. Ren Hunt to demonstrate the V75 in the abdominal and cardiac examinations for us. Now, let's come to the demo room. The veterinary ultrasound began as one of the imaging methods in the late 1970s. And now, the ultrasonography has become a general and important diagnostic tools in the veterinary medicine. And the abdominal ultrasound examinations describe practical applications for diagnosing disorders of the liver, the spleen, the kidneys, the urinary tract, adrenal glands, pancreas, and so on. And with this non-invasive, non-ionizing wave of cells propagated into tissues, the ultrasonography can create images of the structures inside the body that have both static and dynamic components. And specialized in the professional veterinary applications, this new trolleyed ultrasound system V75, designed by Seaweed, can provide high-quality images with preset examination types for several species and with different weights. Empowered by the new platform RealView Plus, the system can also support customized examination setup. And the commonly used transducer during abdominal examination is microconvex probe. And also linear and convex probes are available depending on species, body size, and shape. Now, let's look at the performance of this new veterinary ultrasound system V75 in abdominal examinations in cat. The abdominal scanning of cats starts from the bladder. After adjusting the beak we will continue the scanning anti-clockwise on the following organs: bladder, spleen, left kidney, liver, gallbladder, and so on. Now we will scan the longitudinal section of the bladder first. Don't shake the probe in a hurry when observing an abnormal situation. It is recommended to observe the echogenic area or spot first. Then we do the transverse section scanning. After scanning the bladder, continue the examination of the spleen. Spleen of cats is usually quite small. On this plan, we can observe the spleen tail, the spleen body, and the front is the spleen head. After scanning the spleen, The next organ to scan is the left kidney. This cat's left kidney becomes rounder than normal and need to be measured. Freeze the image. Press this button to measure the long axis of the kidney. The normal value is 3.2 to 4.2 centimeters. We need to compare the size of the kidney on the other side to see if it is symmetrical. The next organ to be scanned are the livers and gallbladder. The cat's gallbladder is a small balloon-shaped organ that is located in the lobes of the liver. It is normal for a cat's gallbladder to sometimes exhibit a bilobed structure. Unlike dogs, dogs don't have this kind of structure in their gallbladder. The last organ to be scanned in a routine abdominal scan is the right kidney. It can be seen that the long axis of the right kidney is longer. The measurement shows that the long axis of the right kidney is approximately 4.6 centimeters, which is significantly larger than that of the left kidney. We can also use linear probe to do the routine abdominal scan. On V75, there are preset examination types, both for microconvex and linear probes. So we switch to a linear probe and also start the scanning from the bladder, and then the left kidney, spleen, liver, and right kidney counterclockwise. So after scanning of the abdomen, let's talk about the veterinary cardiac examinations. And some pets with heart disease may have symptoms such as coughing, difficulty breathing, but some pets may not have symptoms. So the daily routine and daily screening of the beat for the risk of the heart disease is important for early detecting and treatment. And for this case, an ultrasound with the excellent performance in cardiac examinations will become a reliable tool for veterinarians during the diagnosis and treatment. So the new Charlie model V75 with excellent performance during the cardiac examinations and provides P8 and P5, also P3, three kinds of phase array probes, and with various the frequency range for different species. Also, this model supports some normal functions and scanning modes such as the PW mode, CW mode, also anatomic N mode, and TDI functions for the cardiac examinations. So let's invite Dr. Zhen Han to do the cardiac examination in canines and cat folders. Usually, the cardiac examination starts with the animal in the right lateral recumbency. This is the peristernal long axis 5-chamber view. The red blood flow represents the blood flow from the left atrium to the left ventricle, which is a normal one-way blood flow. In addition to the load axis view, next let's attend a short axis view. That is, each cutting the heart at a different level between the base and the apex. After rotating the probe 90 degrees, we are now looking at the horizontal plane of the pulmonary artery. On this plane, we usually compare the diameters of aorta and pulmonary artery. Next, slide the probe along the long axis of the heart to the apex and place it to the intercostal spaces to obtain the horizontal plane of the aorta of the animal. And this view is used to determine the proportional relationship between the aorta and the left atrium to determine whether the left atrium is dilated. The ratio of aorta to left atrium is normally less than 1 to 1.5. Now we change back to the peristernal long axis bi-chamber view. Activate TDI function to observe the movement of the myocardial wall. The TDI function captures the movement of the myocardium with red and blue colors representing the direction of wall movement relative to the probe. Activate PW mode and we can better obtain the motion trajectory of the myocardial wall. We can activate M mode and TDI function at the same time to observe and assess the motion of each segment of the myocardium. Now we will continue the demonstration on canine. Our little model is a 5-year-old female dog. A French bulldog weighs 10 kilograms. And when doing bladder examination, usually we start from the longitudinal section and keep orientation notch towards the head of the animal during longitudinal section scanning, provided that the animal is on the right-hand side of the operator in the scanning position. Firstly, we can observe the contents of the bladder and the bladder wall. Now that there is a light spot with strong echoes in the contacts, we can shake the probe to see if this thing is a stone. Then we do a transverse section scan. To change from longitudinal to transverse section, we need to rotate the probe 90 degrees counterclockwise. Keep the notch oriented towards the operator and examine organs in a certain order. And during transverse section scanning, slide the probe and scan the animal's bladder from caudal to cephalic to observe changes in each section. Observe whether the contents are pure and anechoic, whether the wall is smooth and flat, and whether the thickness is abnormal. After a bladder scanning, in counterclockwise order, the next organ to scan is the spleen. The spleen is located near the last costal arch. We place the probe close to the costal arch and we'll see the 3 parts of the spleen. Here is the spleen tail, the middle is the spleen body, and the front is the spleen head. When doing a spleen scan, all three positions should be scanned. Judging the size of the spleen is generally based on the position of the spleen tail, which is free. It may go down, but it cannot be attached to the bladder, which may indicate that the spleen becomes enlarged. The spleen tail can also cross over and go beyond the midline of the abdomen, but cannot be connected to the right kidney. And if it is connected to the right kidney, it also indicates an enlarged spleen. At ultrasound imaging, the spleen is homogeneous, slightly more echogenic than the normal renal, and if an echogenic area with inconsistent echogenicity compared with the spleen is observed, it may suggest some nodule or tumors. After examination of the structure of the spleen, we will look for the kidneys near the spleen. For the kidney scan, we also do two sections. And now this is a longitudinal section. Rotate the probe 90 degrees in the longitudinal plane to scan the transverse plane. During a kidney scan, on the longitudinal section, usually we will measure the size of the kidney. Freeze the image and press the measurement key. Place the first crosshair on the cephalic pole of the kidney and drag the trackball to place the second crosshair on the caudal pole of the kidney to get its size. Adult kidney size range is determined based on body weight. You can query the normal kidney size range corresponding to the weight of the pet to determine whether the animal's kidney size is normal. After measuring the size, we can observe the blood supply to the kidneys. After obtaining two-dimensional image of the kidney, turn on the color mode to observe the blood flow. Normal renal blood supply covers the area of funnel-like renal pelvis and to the surrounding renal cortex. And if renal failure or renal infarction occurs, partial or overall poor blood flow may be indicated. Now shows a relatively normal kidney with blood flow extending from the center of the renal pelvis to the cortex. The V75 is equipped with VS flow function, which can better show the fine blood flow of the kidneys. For some diseases such as renal infarction in cats, this function will be a helpful method for diagnosis. At the same time, we have to get the transverse section of the kidney, observe whether the renal pelvis is considered large or not, and whether the ureter is considered dilated. The renal pelvis has blood supplies, which can be easily confused with the ureters at B mode. So in this case, we can activate color mode and observe whether there is blood supplies to distinguish different structures. The adrenal glands can be examined around the kidneys. Now we switch to a linear probe for scanning. The adrenal glands are located on the top of the kidney. First, find the longitudinal section of the kidney, then move the probe closer to the midline of the abdomen, and first see the abdominal aorta. This pinna-shaped structure on the dorsal side of the abdominal aorta is the adrenal gland. We can activate the C mode to locate adrenal glands. What is now shown is a standard adrenal gland images. Now we switch back to the microconvex probe and proceed to examine the animal's liver. The location of the liver is relatively fixed, making it easier to find. The difficulty of scanning is to scan the liver completely. The weight of holding the probe can be changed to scan the liver. The parameter can be adjusted at any time according to the image. Here we adjust again to increase the brightness. When scanning the liver, in addition to observing the size, shape, and capsule, the vascular system should also be observed. There are three vascular systems in the liver: the hepatic artery, the hepatic vein, and the portal vein, equipped with nanoview, X-beam, and other imaging processing technologies. V75 can attend high-quality images for detailed observation. Usually the hepatic artery is not visible, but the hepatic vein and portal vein can be observed. The echogenicity of the liver is generally lower than that of the spleen and slightly higher or equal to echogenicity of the renal cortex. After the liver scan, we can slide the probe to the right side of the animal to identify the gallbladder. The gallbladder wall is smooth and flat, with strong echogenicity. The gallbladder wall thickness in cats and dogs is usually less than 1 mm. The bile in the gallbladder is a hypoechoic fluid-filled dark area. And Dodo is a female dog, so we can first check the cervix, which is located in the angle between the bladder and the descending colon. This round inner hypoechoic structure is a transverse section of the cervix, and an underlying hypoechoic structure is the descending colon. And after the scanning of abdomen using microconvex probe, next Dr. Jen Han will show us the applications of the linear probe. The linear probe is usually used for the scanning of the gastrointestinal tract and other small organs like kidney, spleen, and so on. Now we switch the probe examination type to examine the animal's gastrointestinal tract. The locations of the stomach, duodenum, ascending colon, and descending colon are relatively fixed and can be scanned in sequence. The location of the stomach is on the right side of the abdomen. We can see that several layers of the stomach wall are distinguished, with high resolution and clear structures. Also, there is some echogenic gas in the stomach and some artifacts with ringing effects formed by mixing gas and liquid. And we can also see a lot of contents in the stomach. The raw ones are unchewed dog food and some chim. And let's take a detailed look at the structures of the stomach wall. The first layer is gas. From the inside to the outside are the hypoechoic mucosa, submucosa, and the hypoechoic muscularis, and the outermost layer is the serosa. And here comes to the end of the demonstrations of the abdominal and cardiac examination in dogs and cats. And thank you, Dr. Hunt and our little lovely models. Now let's take a quick break and I will get back to the live studio room for the Q&A section.